Did you know that 95% of people in crypto are using the Fibonacci retracement completely wrong? In today's video, not only am I going to show you how they're doing it wrong so we can help you never do that again, but we're also going to show you how to use it correctly in just 3 simple steps. If you're new here, my name is Steve. I'm gonna help you get one step closer to your financial freedom. Hit that subscribe button right now. In crypto, one of the biggest things people wanna know is after price goes up, skyrockets, everybody's excited, when it starts crashing and there's blood in the streets and there's fear and there's pandemonium, everyone wants to know when is it gonna stop crashing and start to go back up. And then we repeat the cycle. We have a pullback, we crash, there's blood in the streets, there's pandemonium. Everyone wants to know, including you, when are we gonna stop crashing and go back up? That's precisely what the Fibonacci retracement is used for. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you how to use it correctly, how people are using it incorrectly, so we can have more money in your pockets and less stress and agony. So these pivot points are one of the reasons people use the Fibonacci. There's only 2 main things for the Fibonacci. One are these reversal points, right? And number 2 is support and resistance, the most critical thing in charts. The Fibonacci is on point with both of them. In fact, the Fibonacci sequence has been used for thousands of years. You can find it all throughout nature, in pine cones, pineapples, flowers, trees, branches. You can even use the Fibonacci sequence to discover how many people are going to take the New York subway on the busiest day of the year and the slowest day of the year. It's used everywhere, including in crypto, to find reversal points. Now that we've got all that information in our heads, let's take a look at the Fibonacci, step by step, how to use it, and I'm going to show you one of the worst settings mistakes that people make. Okay, so where to find the Fibonacci? First, I want you to be on the weekly chart. We're on the weekly chart here. We're on a Bitcoin chart, and you're going to find the Fibonacci right over here. Okay, it'll be called Fibonacci retracement. The icon will look like this, and you can put a star as your favorite if you wish. You're going to click on it once. That's step 1. And by the way, there's only 3 steps to draw the Fibonacci. That's already step 1. Step number 2. What I want you to do is find the lowest price point on your chart. For our purposes, we're right here. And you're just going to click once. That's step number 2. Step number 3 is drag that to the highest price on your chart. Once you find the highest price on your chart and you expand it out, that's step number 3. Now, what does this tell us? Well, before we get into what this is telling us right here, let's make sure your settings look precisely like this. What I want you to do is take your cursor to this top line here and click twice, once and twice. It's going to come up with this. We're not going to worry about this section. We're not going to worry about this section. We're only going to worry about the style. Within the style, I want you to have these 4 boxes checked, meaning if you probably have all of these other boxes checked, just uncheck them and remain with only these 4 levels. These 3 are called our golden ratio. Those are the most critical levels of support and resistance, and these will be our secret sauce for finding that reversal point in crypto, on your favorite altcoin, on your favorite crypto. So now that you have it look like this, click OK or click X, and now we're good. We've got our first point, which means Bitcoin was down here. We went on a very large run. Everyone was excited, but then we started crashing down. There started to be blood in the streets, panic, pandemonium. Everyone's wondering, where are we going to stop? Well, we look at our first level of the golden ratio. That's our support. Okay? The simple rule is, if we break this support, we're going to fall to this line. And if we break this line, we're going to fall to this line. That's, in a nutshell, the simplest way to understand these support and resistance levels. Now, let me enlighten you on one of the biggest mistakes people do with the settings here. What I want you to see on the chart is this level actually was our first pivot point, okay? We wouldn't have known that if we didn't use the Fibonacci correctly. Now, Let me show you. On our chart, we're on the logarithmic chart, which means we're usually looking at the big picture in Bitcoin, so we need that log clicked. If we didn't have it clicked, it would look like this. If we have it clicked, it looks like this. Now, if you're using it and it's lit up in blue, you have it clicked. We want to make sure you have the right settings. So you double click here, and again, comes up with that style, and we're just going to scroll to the bottom. And you're going to have fib levels based on log scale. You want this box checked. Now, let's say we didn't have it checked, which a lot of people forget to. It looks like this, which tells us, hey, we went on a large run, we're started to crash, there's blood in the streets, there's pandemonium, and looks like the Fibonacci didn't work at all. It didn't work at all because we didn't have the correct settings, okay? That's one area that people use it incorrectly. The other one is a lot of people will say, okay, I'm gonna draw the fib and let's draw it again. There's just 3 simple steps. Step number 1, click on the fib. Step number 2, find the lowest price. Step number 3, drag it to the highest price and click. That's it. Now, what people do incorrectly is they will mix the bodies and the wicks, meaning you want to draw it wick to wick. You don't want to draw it body to wick. Now, if you're not sure what bodies and wicks are, we'll do that in a separate video, but you can click here and let's hypothetically say we drew it based on the body. We made an error. How big of a mistake would it be, right? So we drew it from the body to the wick and we expanded out. And that tells us inconclusive information. It tells us that these support and resistance levels are not accurate, okay? That's because we didn't draw the Fibonacci correctly. That's mistake number 2 that I see happening time and time again in crypto. So the simple rule is draw it either wick to wick or body to body. Cannot mix and match, either wick to wick or body to body. Now that we've got that under wraps, let's take a look at some of these smaller runs and how the Fibonacci would have done wonders to our portfolio, knowing when to buy more during a crash. So let's, step number 1, we click on the chart. Step number 2, we go to the lowest price. Step number 3, we go to the highest price. Now this tells us that, hey, Bitcoin price was down here. We went on a large run. We went up to here. And then price started crashing. There's blood in the streets. There's panic. There's pandemonium. We fell precisely right to our first fib level, the 0.38. Okay, and we wicked down precisely to the 0.5. That told us our inflection point. That told us our reversal point. So let's take a look at another example. Step number 1, we click there. Step number 2, lowest point. Step number 3, highest price. And again, wick to wick is what we're doing. And you can see that these came in incredibly handy. We fell right down to these points. This is where some traders would have taken a position here, and voila. So that's how to use the Fibonacci. What I want you to do right now is share this video with one person you know in crypto, and you know it will help them. Just share it with one person. You know that you watched this video and you said, wow, okay, now this is making sense. Now I'm not going to make that mistake. Okay, this is how to use it, right? In crypto, the biggest thing is during a crash, finding that inflection point, finding that reversal point. And as you know, the Fibonacci, it's been around for thousands of years, and it's used in crypto to find that and support and resistance. It's really, really good at those 2 things. Now, let's talk about a third thing that people are using incorrectly when it comes to the Fibonacci. The third thing are the time frames, okay? The time frames can be found here, all right? What I want you to do is focus only on the daily and the weekly and really master the daily and the weekly. Okay, what you find with a lot of people in crypto is they're using the fib on the 1 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute. Now you can use it on those time frames. It's just not as accurate. All right. So what I want you to do is think about it this way. The smaller time frames, not accurate. Higher time frames, higher meaning the daily, the weekly, the monthly, significantly more accurate. So if you want to be more accurate when you find this inflection point, use the higher time frames. Okay. If you want to be wrong a lot of the times, you can use the one minute, the 5 minute, 3 minute, right? And I don't want you to do that. So really start to play with the weekly, pull it up on your chart, click right here, step 1, click the bottom the lowest price and then draw it to the highest price and see what you can find. What I want to do in the next video is how to make money with a strategy with the Fibonacci. Leave some comments down below if you really want this video, and we will put together a simple strategy, probably with 3 simple steps of using this to buy. And I'll partner that with saying that the 4th mistake people make in crypto with the Fibonacci is they just use the Fibonacci to trade. Cannot do that. Fibonacci needs to be a part of the strategy, and it cannot be the strategy, which means we're missing components of our strategy. That's why I would like to make another video, pair this Fibonacci with one of the indicators where it'll be significantly more accurate, and it will tell you precisely when to buy for this dip, right? When to buy this dip, when to buy this dip, right? When to buy this dip. You have to pair the Fibonacci with an indicator, okay? So we'll do that in our next video. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe, and don't forget to share this video with one person right now. You know it will help them tremendously, as it just helped you. I'll see you right back here in the next video. You can feel free to follow us at Crypto Crew U on the Twitter, and this is a video that we've made that's probably our most popular video ever, when to sell cryptocurrency, 3 simple steps. I'll leave that also down below. I'll see you back here in the next video. Peace and love to the fellow underdogs.